What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. Welcome back to another credit card video. And in this one, I wanted to talk to you about secured credit cards because I think secured credit cards are very important to own at least once in your life. I know there are people that may not own secured credit cards because of the fact that maybe their parents got them into a better situation of understanding credit cards or giving them a credit card. And a lot of times I see those same kids that may not know truly about credit cards, they just know about their spending limit that they have on it, right? So the best way for you guys to understand credit cards a little bit better are secured credit cards. So I'm gonna go through the pros and cons of having a secured credit card if you are, at the newer stage of having a credit card. Um, you need to make sure that you understand that this is an option, especially if you have no credit, less credit. This is something that will help you out and get you a credit card. So let's talk about this, guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on Rumble, that link is also in the description. And when it comes to secured credit cards, or it comes to credit cards in general, I believe that credit cards are a necessity. Now, do you need to have a billion credit cards or 20 or 10 or whatever? No, right? You can live off of a couple of credit cards, maybe one. And the reason why is because you want to be able to have your credit or build your credit so that you can get some of these car loans and mortgage loans and all of that, right? You know, not everybody can afford to just buy things outright. So you need to be able to finance things. And as you have that ability to finance things, they're going to check your credit. And if you don't have any credit, it's not really going to work. They're not going to approve your loan. Um, it's a necessity. And I always recommend that if people are afraid of just having a regular credit card, secured credit cards are the way, right? Or get a credit card that you can say, hey, I want to set the limit to $100 and never go over that at that point, right? Because then you know that no matter what, you can always pay that $100 back. Now, let's go through a secured credit card. What is a secured credit card? Well, regular credit card, you would use the financing from whatever the company is. So if it's American Express or if it's Discover or if it's Capital One, you would be able to use that financing from them in order to have a certain credit limit. So they would provide this credit limit to you, and you would say, okay, I have $1,000 to spend, and you would pay that back to them. With a secured credit card, it's a little bit different to where basically, sorry, I don't know why it's down there, to where basically you would take this credit line that you establish. So you take $200 that you establish and you put it into this bank, whether it's your credit union or it's Discover or whatever you end up going with for that secured credit card. And you would use your own money in order to fund your credit spending. And then you would basically pay it back every single month using your own money as a balance. So you start the balance, you deplete it by $100, you have to replenish that $100 back into that. And then at the end of it, typically you get your money back, especially if it's in like a credit union, in your own bank, you get that money back in your account if you wanted to cancel the card. Now, some people will recommend that you do not cancel the card. You just keep it there forever as a $200 limit. But for me, I canceled the card as soon as I got to a certain point. I had other cards and everything there. If you want to keep this forever, then you would just have that $200, and that would be just what your fee was for that. So it is a little bit tricky because people have to gather $200 or gather a certain amount of money in order to have this credit card. And I understand that some people just can't afford getting $200 all together in their bank account. Maybe they live paycheck to paycheck. So it's understandable, but it's something you have to work up to in order to improve your credit. Now, let's talk about the pros and cons of a secured credit card, as now we know what a secured credit card is. One of the pros is that you are the loaner, right? You understand the other side of it, and you know how to work spending it, but you also know that you are the one that put that money out there and you need to replace that money. So it's a different mindset to it rather than just using someone else's money. You're using your own money to fund it, which is definitely a better dynamic, a better way of looking at it, because now you understand what the other side is doing. and why they care about getting their money back so much. Another pro is that you have no credit check. In most of these, or majority of these, you're not going to have a credit check because you are supplying the money. They're not giving you the credit line. You are providing the credit line yourself. So you don't have to worry about having any type of low credit or no credit. You can get approved for the secured credit card just through applying for it in your bank, and it should be an approval. And the last pro that I have here, there's probably more pros that you can think of, is the fact that you're building your credit with this card, right? You can build your credit with any other credit card, but if you have no credit, you can't get those credit cards. So you need to find a way to build credit and get yourself to a point where now your credit is high enough so that you can get this mortgage loan, so that you can get this car loan, or whatever. So those are some really decent pros that I find with the secured credit card, especially for beginners. But you do have some cons with it. A con is that you have a large upfront fee. You're paying $200 for this secured credit card. It could be $300 or whatever you want to put as a credit line in order to spend with this card. And like I said, some people might not have that much money to spend on a card. So if you don't have that much money to just put out there, then what are you going to do? What I look at it as is like, if you have money in your bank account, treat it as that, right? Treat it as such to where you have $200 in your bank account and you always want to keep that $200 in there, right? Because if you have $500 that's sitting over here and you have no credit or little to no credit, it makes sense for you to move $200 over here and say, okay, I'm going to use this as a credit line now, and I'm going to improve my credit because of that, right? So, but it is a large fee that you're paying up front, and I know some people may not have that. And the last con that I have here is that you have little to no rewards, basically none, for a lot of these secured credit cards, but it's about building your credit. That's what it's about. It's not about getting any type of reward spending, because you don't want to, overspend with your own money. There are some that still offer you some rewards with it. But if you're talking about a credit union or your bank, you most likely will not have any rewards. It's about the ability to have the card that is kind of the pro versus having the card and having benefits. It's just not something that's normal. At least it wasn't for me. And there are some options out there, but I recommend going with just a plain option that you can just build your credit and focus on that side of it, rather than trying to get 1% back on everything that you purchase and now having everything flow through that credit card, potentially maxing it out. You don't want that to happen. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think about secured credit cards. Do you think that you still need to own them in 2024? Do you think there are other options to building your credit? Because there are student loans that you most likely will have, but not everybody wants student loans, and some people, it's not applicable, right? They end up going to college for free, and they just never have, built credit history. So let me know what you think about secured credit cards. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.